Hi there and welcome to this Shopify tutorial for beginners. So if you're a beginner, I'm going to show you how you can build a simple online store and start selling your products using Shopify. You're going to see all this, how you can build your store, how you can create the different pages and so much more, how to add your products. Most importantly, I'm also going to show you how you can set up the custom domain right there, and you can use any domain provider. You don't have to use Shopify for this. I'm going to show you how you can connect that on your Shopify account. So that's pretty much it. Go ahead and start watching the videos if you want to learn how to use Shopify to build your online store. See you in the next video. Hi there and welcome to this Shopify tutorial for beginners. Shopify is an online platform that allows you to create online stores. So you don't need to have any coding skills. You don't even need to know how to manage a web server. All you have to do is create your Shopify account, and then you can start adding your product and designing your online store using the Shopify interface. So throughout this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can create a full e-commerce website using Shopify. So if you're a beginner, this tutorial is for you. And I'm going to put all the videos in one playlist, so you can look at the description to find the link to the playlist. I will add the videos one step at a time. Make sure that you watch them in the playlist if you want to watch them consecutively. So the first step, of course, you need an account. You're going to create a new account, and Shopify will give you a free trial for 14 days. And that's the one I'm going to use to do this tutorial. All right. So first, I'd like to ask you if you're going to build your store on Shopify, please consider supporting my endeavors. And if you want to go to Shopify using my affiliate link, you can just go using bizanosa.com/sf. So we go to bizanosa.com/sf. And this is going to take you to Shopify. And this is my affiliate link. So if you'd like to support my endeavors, I will greatly appreciate that. So you see, this will redirect you to get the free trial. And to get the free trial, the first thing you're going to have to do is you'll put in your email address, and then you can continue from there creating the online store. And we're going to do that in this video. So let's get started. So just enter your email address. So once you enter your email address, just click on Start Free Trial, and then enter a strong password and your store name. So a strong password could be something that has alphanumerics and special characters. Okay. So you can just use numbers and you add special characters within that to make the password strong. And then you give your store a name. Okay. You're going to get a .myshopify link, .myshopify.com store, and you can use that, but you will be much better off to buy a domain name, and you're going to see how to do that in upcoming videos. So let's say for me, I want to create a store that sells menswear. So clothing for men, just t-shirts for men. So if I want to create something like that, I can create something that I will be able to remember. So I can call my store Broader Wear. So that's just the name of the store, and make sure you remember it, because once we get the link, you're going to use that to log into your store, and I will show you how to do that as well. So enter the password and then click on Create Your Store. And I want you to come up here. You'll see that the name of my store has been taken as the link for my store. So if you ever want to log into your store, just copy this up to admin and then save it somewhere, or you can bookmark it. You can bookmark it on your browser. And if you come here, you'll just be asked for the email address and your password to log in. So make sure you can save this somewhere. And then fill in these details. Are you already selling? No, I'm just going to say I'm not selling products yet. Do you have something to sell? Yes, I have something to sell. This doesn't really matter. This is just for their own statistics. It doesn't help you in any way. What is your current revenue? It doesn't really matter. I'm just going to put that there. Which industry will you be operating in? I'll just put there other. It doesn't really matter. Are you setting up a store for a client? I can click that or uncheck it. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to go next. And then you can add your address and all these details. So make sure that you add all the details for your store right here, and you know these details for yourself. So enter them, and then once you do that, click on Enter My Store. As soon as you do that, you're going to get redirected to the Shopify admin dashboard, and this is where you'll do everything. This is where you're going to build. This is where you're going to add the products, design the pages, and so much more. So if you want to design your pages, you'll have to come here under online store. If you want to add products, just click there, add products, and we're going to see how to do all that in upcoming videos. So let me go to my email and see if there's anything that I will need to confirm on that side. If I need to confirm my email address, I'm not sure if that's something I need to do. Let's just see. Okay, so I don't need to confirm anything, but you can see that if you forget the link to your site, the link to your login, you can just go to the first email address, the first email that was sent to you from Shopify, welcome to Shopify, and then you can click admin, you can click the link, you can save this link. If you go to the link, it's going to take you to your dashboard, or if you're not logged in, it's going to bring the login. Let's just do that in a private browser. Let me open this in a private window, and when I open it in a private window, you're going to see that it will require me to log in. So every time you want to log in, you'll just come in here, enter your email address, and then enter your password, and that's going to bring you to your dashboard. So just make sure that you save this link somewhere in your browser. You can save it even manually on a form, manually in a text pad, and then you can just copy it into your browser every time you want to log in. Okay, or if you can remember the name of your store, you can just enter the name of your store .myshopify.com/admin, and that's going to log you into your store. So since I will be doing this tutorial over a course of over a certain period of time, I will have to recreate the store inside of my partner's account, because under partner's account I can have unlimited trial period. I won't be able to sell and make any actual orders, but I will have a forever trial plan that I can use to do tutorials. Even in future, if I need to make updates, I will just do that using the same store without having to recreate it, because this is going to expire after about 14 days. This is going to expire, and I don't want this to expire. So I'm just going to recreate this inside of my partner's account. And I do have a video of how to create that. You can find that on YouTube as well. If you need the link, just let me know in the description. But if you're sure that you want to build your store, just start with the free trial, because the free trial is going to give you everything you need, just the same as the partner's account. And this is much easier to use because you just log in straight to your store. So that's it for this part. In this part, you've seen how to set up your Shopify free trial. You can build your store even in 2 days. If you already have the content, the products, the images, basically all the content that you need for your store, if you already have that, you can build your store. Even in a day, your store can be up and running, provided that you're willing to just ensure that you're willing to work and follow along with me throughout in every video. And you can have your store ready in a very short period of time. So the 14-day trial is enough time for you to build and get your store up and running. In the next section, we're going to continue from here. In the next section, let's just do an overview of the dashboard, and I'm going to make it a quick one because most of these things are very self-explanatory. You can just click on them and look at them. That's it for this section. Let's get on to the next section. After creating a Shopify free trial, the next step is for you to find your way in the dashboard. So if you're new to Shopify, you probably don't know what all these are for. And that's what we want to do in this video. I'm just going to do a quick overview of the Shopify dashboard for you as a beginner. So here we have all the tools you're going to need to get your website running. And here we have the settings. So first of all, let's just click on settings down here. And most of these items are self-explanatory, so you can just click on each of them to see what each of them does. So if you want to set up your payment options, maybe you want to get paid via PayPal or Stripe, you can do that in there. You want to change any settings in your taxes, you can change that there. Maybe you want to withhold tax and all that, you can change the percentages for that inside here. And just click on each of these to see what they all do. So that's settings. And then we have online store. So this is where you're going to design your store. If you click here on online store, you're going to see that we do have themes, blog post pages, navigation, domains, and the preferences for the online store. You can click on them, and as the name of this suggests, they do exactly what they imply. So for instance, pages, you can create pages here. You want to create an about page, you want to create a contact us page, you can create that there. Blog posts, you can create blog pages, you can create a blog page and add all your blog posts just like you'd normally do on WordPress. And navigation, of course, this is where you're going to add your menu items. So you'll see how to work with each of this at some point in this tutorial. So just follow the videos in the playlist. So if you come this side, you're going to see that online store is password protected. You can disable the password. If you click there, it will take you to where you can disable the password. You can also come here under preferences. And once you get here under preferences, you can just scroll down and you will see the option to disable the password, or you can change the password. So if you do change the password, you can preview your store as you build it. To preview the store, just click here on the eye icon. That's going to show you the store. We're going to change the theme and we're going to design it. So for now, don't worry about it. So you are going to need the password. So as long as you're under the trial, as long as you're still under the trial, you cannot disable the password. You'll only be able to change it. Just change the password. You can change the password right there. And once you change it, it will be enabled for the site. So that's where you can remove the password. Let's go back here to online store, and here under online store you can see that we do have themes. So you can change your theme here, and you're going to see how to do all that. You can change, activate, edit your theme right there. And if you want to design the home page or any other pages, just click there on customize and you'll be able to customize all these elements. Of course, you're going to change the theme. So this is a default theme that comes with Shopify, but you can change themes. So if you come here under theme, you go to the theme library, you're going to see that there are free themes and there are also premium themes that you can buy and use. Free themes are okay, you can use those as well. And you're going to find a free theme that you can use for this store. And pages, you can create pages, navigation, all this, you're going to look at them at some point. If you need to add products, you have to come up here, just click on products, and then you'll be able to add products. You can add collections. Collections are just a way to group your products. This is a way to categorize the products. And you can also manage the inventory for the products. And we're going to look at some of this when we get to adding products. And then you can look at the customers, your customer data, people who've purchased from you. You can find all the details here. You can look at your analytics just to see how your shop is performing, total sales, and all this data. So you can see Shopify is very friendly for beginners. You don't need to do anything major. All the features have already been added here for you. You don't need to add anything really. And then here under marketing, you can see the marketing options that Shopify provides for you, and you can take advantage of some of this, or you can use your own marketing means. And you can also create discount codes. If you do have coupons that you're giving out, you can create discounts right here. And if you need to add any features to Shopify, maybe there are certain things that are not available and you want them on your Shopify store, you can go to the App Store, you can go to the Shopify apps just to see if there are solutions that are already available for you to use. And if you want to see the apps that are available, you can just click there. And once you get here to the Shopify App Store, what you can do is you can just come in here and search for an app. Maybe you want a Facebook app or you want a pop-up app. You can just search for it, and I'm sure there will be a result for you. There are many apps that you can find on the Shopify App Store. So let's say I search for pop-ups. You can see we do have this, and maybe you want to use this to add some kind of exit intent on your Shopify store. You can read about it, look at the reviews. If you're satisfied, then you can use it. If not, you can find a different one, and make sure that you look at the pricing, because the pricing for any app will affect the cost of running your online store. So if you get an app which is like $20 or $13 a month, that will be added on top of your Shopify plan. So just find an app that works well for you, and there are many options that you can choose from. So if you want to add an app, you can just click add app, and you look at the permissions that the app will require, and you can confirm that you want to add it by clicking on install. But I don't want to do that, so I'm just going to forget about that for now. So we've looked at most of this. Once people make orders on your store, of course, you'll come here to fulfill the orders. So if there are any orders, you'll just come in here and you'll fulfill your orders right here. If there's anything special that you need to do, you will do it here. Maybe you need to add certain details for the customers. You can do that here. You need to set the order as shipped, or just any fulfillment that is relevant to whatever you're selling. You can do that here. And you can also look at the abandoned checkout. So if people come in and they don't finish the checkout, you'll find their details here, and you can remarket to them. So that's something that you can do here. And there are also certain apps that can help you to take care of this. So if people do abandon their checkouts, you can send them an email to remind them to continue the checkout process. So that's something that you can do. And you're going to see how to do that at some point in this Shopify tutorial. So make sure you're watching the tutorial in the playlist So that's it for this video. So what I've done is I've given you a brief overview of the Shopify admin dashboard. So you can find the settings here and just go through all of these others and see what I didn't cover and may be important to you. So that's it for this section. I will see you in the next section. So before I end the video, just a reminder how to log into your store. You can just copy that up to the admin point. Your store link.myshopify.com/admin, and then if you copy that, you can save it somewhere or you can bookmark it. And if you go to a private window, you'll be able to log in, because if you don't know the name of your store, you may have problems logging in. So just make sure that you do copy this link and save it somewhere. That's going to help you to log into your admin dashboard if you want to maintain and manage your store. So that's it for this section. I will see you in the next part. Before we start adding products, let's first of all see how you can preview your store. So log into your dashboard, and if you go here under online store, you're going to see the option to add a password for your Shopify store when you're building it. So to preview the store, you can just click on this icon and you can preview your store like that. So another thing that is important in previewing your store is the password. So in case it asks for a password, you can change the password right here. Click here on online store, and then you can see it says that my store is password protected. So if I click here, I can go and see the password, and I can also change the password. You can do the same here. If you come here under preference and you scroll down, you can change the password. So you just come in here, change the password, and then click on save. And if people need to preview the site, they will need to get the password from you. So share the password with whomever you want to preview the site and give you feedback or change something for you. So that's it for this video. You've seen how to preview your Shopify store. So that's it for this section. You've seen how to preview your Shopify store. The next process is for us to add products. In this section, let's see how to add products on our Shopify store. So the objective is to show you how you can add different types of products. We're going to see how you can add a product without any variations, and then you're also going to see how you can add variations to your products. Something that is important for you as an online seller is for you to decide what you want to sell. It's paramount that you know exactly what you want to sell, and you don't sell many products, and try not to sell so many products on your store. Just sell the products that are very niched down, and you can target the audience with specific messages, specific marketing tactics, and that's much easier than creating a general store. In fact, it's even better to have a one product store. If you manufacture or make a particular product, you have a much better chance of success just selling that product and marketing that product to the specific people that you're trying to target. So with that said, let's see how you can add products. So to add a product, you'll just come here under products, and let's click on it, and you're going to see we have all these options here. All your products will be listed under all products. Inventory, you can manage your inventory if you decide to check Shopify as the inventory manager, and you're going to see how to do that inside of when we start adding product. You can just click on the inventory to be managed by Shopify, and you can perform inventory transfers. You can create collections. You're going to talk about collections in a moment. That's also important in product creation. And then you can set up gift cards for your customers. So before I start creating the products manually, because in this I'm going to create the products manually, maybe you're trying out dropshipping. If you're trying out dropshipping, what you can do is you'll come here under apps, and you can learn about Oberlo. You can use Oberlo you can create products using Oberlo. So if you come here under apps, just up here, you can just click there to search for Oberlo. You can choose Oberlo app, and you can add the app. So this is basically an app that allows you to find products that you can drop ship. So there are lots of tutorials for this, and it's very easy to use. If you want to add products using Obelo, you can do that as well. It's not difficult to use at all. Very easy to use, and you can learn more about it. Just add the app, and you can go to YouTube and find a tutorial about Obelo just to show you how you can add products. That is, if you're doing drop shipping. So coming back here to add our first product, we're just going to click there. Right now we don't have any. I'm just going to click there, add product. Let's see what this does. When you click on find product, okay, so you can check that. This will help you to see the kind of products that you want. If any of these are of interest to you, maybe you want to do print on demand, you can try that. And Obelo is for dropshippers mostly, even this one. You can read this to see how beneficial they could be to you as a new Shopify user. All right, so let's click on add product. And I do have this sample content. This is just sample content that I'm going to add for my store. And my store, as I said, is going to be a menswear. And I'm only going to add very few products here, just t-shirts and shirts, and that's it. So just to have a sample of variations, this is what I have. I'm going to have short sleeves, and I can have polos as well. And I can also have long sleeve and just formal shirts. These are going to act as my collections, and collections are just categories. So how you can categorize your different products. So that's what this is about. So I can use this as my collections, which we are going to create as well. So let's create the first shirt, and we're just going to copy that. And you give the shirt a title. Make sure that the name is very descriptive of the item, and you don't add a lot of useless information. Like you can see, this has lots of useless information because I just copied this from eBay. So you can see some of this are really not that useful. Just make sure the title is very explanatory and it matches what a customer may search for. So a customer may search for something like plain t-shirt for men, and then you add the description. So here under description, make sure your description is easy to read. To create a description that's easy to read, you should probably use headings. You should add product images, people using the image, and you should as well add your description in bullet formats. So for me, these are just samples, but in your case, make sure that the product description clearly tells the customer what the product is about. You should probably use bullet format for most of the items. You should use bullet format. So this, I can make that heading 2. You can also add images of people using the product. So whatever you're selling, make sure you add images, because images are the best sellers of your product, because they give people an idea of how the product is going to look like on them and how the product may be used. So I can insert an image there, and note that this is not the thumbnail image for the product. You're going to see where you can add that. So you can add an image right within the product description. You can upload, you can use images that you already have. I don't have any. I can upload a file and I can select it. And of course, you need to add an image alternative text. This is good for SEO. And I'm just going to paste in the title. Make sure the image alternative text is descriptive of the product as well and SEO friendly. So if this was an image of someone using the product, it would really be nice. So please note that I'm still just adding the product, and the theme, I might change the theme that I use on my site. So first of all, let me just save this, and then we can preview. We can preview what we've done so far. Please note that you need to change the status of the product. So you can make it active, or you can make it a draft and to make it active. So I will click there to make the product active, and then I will save. Once I do that, I can add the actual product images for this. So media, this is what the product is going to look like. These are going to be the image for the product. So if you go here online, do we have a way to get to that product? You can see it doesn't have an image yet. So I can add an image here. Let's add a file, and I can add that. I can even add another variation of the product. I can say maybe there's a different color for the product. So let's just assume that this is one product. and I don't have variations yet. I'm going to show you how to add variations after this. So let's add the white as well. So these are variations of the product, and you're going to see how to deal with variations. Maybe you want to add different colors, different sizes. You're going to see how to do that next. So down here, you just need to add the details for the products. And if you want any of these images to become the main image, you can change the image just by dragging the image that you want as the main image. And then the price, you can change the price here. So you can see my currency is different. Let me change the currency, and you can change the currency by going here under settings. Just open up settings in a new tab, and then go into general settings. Under general, just scroll down until you get to the store currency, and you can change it to whichever you want. I want to change this to dollars. And then I will save. And once I change that, if I come back to the product that I was creating, and let me just refresh the page so that the currency change will get reflected. So my currency is now in dollars, and I can change this to, let's say, $9. And you can compare a price. So price comparison, you're going to see this once I click on save. You're going to see what this implies. Okay, price. Let's come in here, reload, and if I look at this, you're going to see the price is $9. The price of the product is $9. But if I come here and I say let's compare the price at maybe $12, let's save that. So it's going to be like there's a discount of $3 for the item. So just keep an eye out on this, and you're going to see that when I do that, it's like the price has now been reduced to $9 and you're getting an offer. So most of the times you should probably do this for your items to make them more attractive to your customers. So you can add this here, cost per item, and these calculations will be done for you. So maybe you bought them at $2 each, $3, and you can look at the profits, and it's going to calculate that for you right here. This could be beneficial to you if you're looking for a specific profit on every product and you want to see how much you're going to get, or the percentage you're going to get on every item that you sell. And then you can charge tax. If you do want to charge tax, you're going to need to go to settings. If you go into settings and then you go into taxes, you can change the taxes. So you can manage, add the VAT tax rates that applies for your country, and you can also do that for the rest of the world. If you want to add tax, you're going to need to do that. If you don't want to, on the product creation page, just check do not charge tax, and there won't be any tax that will be added to the cost of the product. And then inventory, you can add this queue. This would probably help you to manage your inventory well, like this is called hence plain. So I can call this ways that inventory. It can help you to know the products, and if the product is easy to order, maybe you can get it within a day or less than a day. You can just say as long as somebody wants to buy it, they can still buy it even though it's out of stock. However, if it is difficult to order and it takes a while to order, you should probably leave this unchecked. So this is about inventory. You can track the inventory for the items that you currently have. So under inventory, you can add how many products are available, the quantity of the inventory right there. You can say maybe 10 are available at this point. And you can also check the inventory history for these products, and it will lead you there. And you can say this is a physical product. So you can also sell digital products on Shopify. And if you want to do that, you'll just uncheck that, okay? And this is going to get rid of various items that are not necessary for digital products. So by default, they assume that the product you're selling is a physical product. So if it is not, uncheck that. And then you can add the weight of the product if you're charging shipping, and you're going to see how you can charge shipping for the different products. And then all this, you can ignore this. And then we're going to see how to create products in the next variants in the next section. That's what we're going to do in the next section. And then, of course, you need to edit your website's SEO. First of all, let's save all the changes we've made. And you can click there on website SEO. And this is going to be the title that will be displayed on the Google search. And this is going to be the description that will be on the Google search as well. So make sure it's something that is enticing. Maybe get this affordable plain t-shirt. So make sure that you include SEO and that take care of that as well. Make sure it is an enticing title which will invite people in to buy the product. So this is what it might appear like on Google if you search for it, if people search for it. And then of course the URL, you want to make sure that your URL is short. You can see this is a very long one. So we're going to change this to Hanes Men's. So that's much shorter, and that is acceptable. So make sure it is a short title. Change the URL of your products. You can also create a redirect if you're changing the link, the URL for a product. You can just click there and it will redirect this into that, but I don't want to do that. On this side, let's look at what we have. As we said, you can activate or you can make it a draft. Down here as well, you can archive the product or delete the product. If you don't want to sell it anymore, but you may sell it in future, you can just archive the product or delete the product. Sales channels. So maybe you're selling using any other Shopify channel. So right now the main channel is your online store, and by default that's the one that will be used here, but you may have other channels. So other channels that you may add could be Facebook and all the other channels that are available. You can find those under settings. If you go into settings and then you come into sales channels, you can add sales channels. So you can have all this. Maybe you're selling on Amazon. You can add a buy now button on your WordPress, or you can sell through Facebook. All this, just click on them to see all the options that you have with each of them. But in most cases, you're probably just going to end up selling on your online store. So in case of any analytics sales, you will be shown some of the data right here. This is a very important part, and this part will help you to organize your products. So you can have product type. This is a t-shirt. So make sure you add these products so that you can use them later on if you need to organize your products into different categories. And then the vendor, of course, you're the one selling, but you can add other vendors. Maybe you have different brands that you're selling. You can click there to add a different vendor. You can click that to add a different vendor, but this is probably just going to be you, so it doesn't really matter. Collections. Now you can add collections, and you're going to see how to add collections. And then tags. Now as for tags are just a way for you to identify the products. So maybe like in this case, this is a t-shirt. So an accurate tag that I could use for this would be something like short sleeve t-shirt. And then I'll click there, add tag. So just tag your products based on how you understand your products. That's why it's important for you to sell items that you understand. And then once we create collections, we're going to create collections based on the tags, or we're going to create collections, automatic collections based on the tags. So collections can be manual or automatic. So I'm going to click there on short sleeve t-shirt. And then I will save. Okay, so let's preview. Once we save, and if I refresh, you can see we do have a 404 error, and that's because we changed the URL. So if you don't want to experience that, when you are changing this link, you would have clicked on the icon there, and that would have redirected the item to this page to avoid the 404. So that's why you had that issue, and I chose not to do that. But it doesn't matter. I can just go back. I can refresh this page, and I will open it again. So you can see that's all we have here, and that's going to mark the end of this video. That's going to mark the end of this section. The next step I was going to do was to create variations for this product, because we do have different colors and we do have different sizes. That's what I was to do. However, I'm going to show you how you can create collections, because we cannot continue without adding collections to these items. So let's see how to create collections in the next section. In the last section, we created this product. Now, let's see collections. Let's talk about Shopify collections. So collections are just categories, how you can categorize your products. Like for instance, in my store, I'm selling menswear. So that means that I can categorize my products as shirts. Or if I was selling trousers, I would have had that as a collection. If I was selling shoes, that would have been a collection. But I'm only selling shirts and t-shirts. So I can have long sleeve t-shirts, short sleeve t-shirts. I can even have shirts collections. Just create collections based on how you want to create them. You saw me adding tags in this product. So one thing I can do is I can use those tags to create a collection. So let me come here under collections, and I'm going to create different collections. And you can see here we already have a collection for home, and you can just delete this because it's really not important to us. So once you select it, you can just delete collection. I can create a collection, and the first one I want to create. Now the good thing with this is you can also use this as a point for search engine optimization for your store. So you can add a title here, an SEO friendly title, and then you add SEO friendly description for this item. Okay, just learn some basics of SEO and how you can do on-page content SEO to write relevant key optimized articles that will probably help your store to rank higher than other stores that don't care about stuff like this. But if you're the one that cares, your product, your store is probably going to rank for various keywords that you decide to rank for. So for me, the first collection I want to create is short sleeve t-shirts. And then you can add a description here. So you can add a description, you can even add images. Just make sure you're trying to optimize your website, okay? It's all about effort. You definitely need to add an image, alt. It's all effort. Everything you do has a result when it comes to SEO. And then I'm going to insert that. Make sure this is all SEO optimized content. And then the collection type, you can choose to make it manual. So if it is a manual collection type, you can literally add products manually. If you're creating a manual collection type, maybe there are specific products that you want to group together, then you can do a manual collection type, and you just click on manual and then you save. Once you click on save, you will be able to add products once you click on save. And you can see up here, you can search for products. Maybe you want to add a specific product, just search for the product. Maybe that's the product I want to add there. I will add that, but I don't want to work with manual. Is there a way for me to edit this back into automatic collection? Is there a way? Okay, apparently there isn't one. So you can add the collection image there. If you want to add a thumbnail, you can add a collection image there. But let's go back to collections, and I want to delete this because there's no way for me to edit it back to what I need it to be. So once I delete it, I will create the collection again. And now, once I do that, I will also add the collection image, and I want the image to be that. Now I want an automated collection type. So this is one which is automatically adds products that meet a certain criteria. So the conditions that I want to be met maybe if I have multiple conditions, I will choose, do I want all the conditions to be met, or do I want just any one of the conditions to be true for a product to be added into this collection? So you can use any of these items. Maybe the product title is equal to something, the product type is equal to something. Okay, you saw I added. If you come here under the product that we added, you'll see that the product type was a t-shirt. So if the product type is a t-shirt, maybe you want that to be added in the collection. Maybe you do want the product price is greater than a certain price. Look at all these options that you have here, and you can use that. So like for instance, maybe I do want a collection that has short sleeve t-shirts, and I also want one that has t-shirts. So if I do want one that has t-shirts, I can just choose product type and I will choose t-shirts, and that's going to add products here automatically. But if I do want the product added here to be short sleeved, like I want in this case, I do want the short sleeved only. So I'm going to choose product tag, and I'm going to choose the tag of short sleeved t-shirts. And then as soon as I do that, I can save and I will see my collection. However, you do need to work on your SEO as well. So make sure your SEO, you add a title there that is SEO friendly, and then you add a description that is also SEO friendly, and will try to entice people to click on your search results instead of clicking on other people's. So that's what this is about: enticing title, enticing description. And then the URL, you can change the URL, but for me, I'm going to leave it as it is because it's very descriptive of my collection. So once I click on save, I can come in here. To click on view, and we can view the collection. So one problem that I can already notice with this theme, it first of all brings me this description. Probably people don't care for that. And then it lists the product. So if this was my site, what I would do, if this was a real site, what I would do is I would actually work on the CSS and then bring this up and bring this down, and it's really not that difficult. And if that's something that you want to do, just feel free to let me know, and I can put a video for that together. However, for now, you can just do away with the description and just add the title. Okay, but it's important to have the description because it is important for SEO. So that's how you can create collections in Shopify. So you've seen in this video, just a recap, you can create automatic collections or you can create manual collections. And with automatic collections, you can use any of these items to automatically add products to your collections. All right? So I will see you in the next video. And in the next section, what I want us to do is I want us to see how we can add the different types of collections to this, the different types of variations to this product, because we do have different colors. We have different colors of this product, and we also have different sizes. So if that's something that you want to see how you can do, make sure you check out the next section. I will see you then. In the last section, you saw how to create collections. I did create this collection, which is an automatic collection that adds products based on the product tag. And I've also created this t-shirts collection that automatically adds products here based on the product type. So let's go ahead and see how to add variations to our products. And let's go back to the list of all our products. And I want to add variations to this because we do have different colors for the product, and we do have different sizes as well. So let's see how we can add them. I will click on the product to edit it, and then I can come down here, and where it says variants, I will just check on variants, and I can add option 1. So the options we're going to have are an option for the size. The size, we do have the different sizes for different body types, different body sizes, and we're also going to add another option for the different colors. So size, first of all, let's add the different sizes, and I cannot separate the options with a comma. So the size, you're going to have medium, large, XL, double XL, and so on. That's pretty much it. You can add others if you want to. Just type it and then add a comma, add a comma. And we also want to add another option. And the second option is color. And we do have black, blue, and white, and separate them with a comma. So that's pretty much it. I can click on save, and just in case these items still have different prices as well, you can change that here. As soon as you've added all these different variations for the products, you can also change the color. You can also change the prices for each. Maybe there are different colors. You can change the different prices for each of the items. Maybe you also want to change anything else about the medium black, medium blue. You can just click there and edit all this. Maybe you want to change the image for that. This is the medium black, the image color. Okay, the color for that. Let's just make it black. And what else can we change here? You can change the price if you want to change the price for this particular one. And you can also change the quality. Maybe you do have a small quantity of that or a large quantity of that. You can change all these details about your variations in Shopify. And anything else that you want to change for that product, you can do that as well. So medium blue. Let's go back to product and see if we can change something in mass. So like for the blue, can I change? Okay, open bulk editor. For this one, you can even change the skew to automatically match the color. The skew sometimes is very important. It helps you to identify a product when you're looking at it in various analytics. You can also change the color for all of them if you do want to change that. Let's go back. Blue is selected, and then let's try and click here on add images. Blue, done. And then white. Let's add images. Done. And then I will save. And then as for black, let's do the same. We add the images. Done. And we can come in here, and if we reload, you'll see that now we have our variations. You can choose a different color. You can choose a different size and a different color. And if you change the color, it also changes. So the white hasn't changed. Let's see why. Let's select white and then add image, and let's choose white. Done. And then save. And let's refresh and Excel. So you probably need to do that manually. Just come in here and edit them manually, and you can change the color. So I don't know why it's not changing, but the color seems to be right. That's how to create variations in your Shopify products. If you want to create variations, that's exactly how to create them. So you've seen how to create variations. So for the next few minutes, I'm just going to go off screen and I'm going to add more products. And then when I come back, we're going to see how we can design our store, because this is not what we want. So we can even use this default theme. I'm going to show you how you can change the theme if you want to, but I think this theme is just okay to use. All right, so we're just going to stick with this theme, but I will show you how you can change the theme in the next section. That's the first thing I'm going to do, is show you how you can change the theme. Maybe you want to try a different theme. I'm going to show you how you can do that. See you then. Something I didn't show you in the last section is how you can crop your images once you upload them on your Shopify product page. So just click on this, and if you want to crop an item up, if you want to crop an image, just come down here and click on crop and rotate, and you can crop it based on different aspect ratios. I prefer freeform. I can crop it however I like. So with freeform, you can crop it however you like. So you can crop it that way. You can even crop it higher if you want to. When you're sure you're done cropping, just come in here and click on done, and that's going to crop it for you. You can also draw anything on this if you want to. Okay, maybe you want to bring attention to something. You can do that using these drawing tools that you have here. But I'm going to reset. I don't need to do this. And then I'll click on done. And you can also resize the image. If you want it to be a certain length and a certain width and a certain height, you can change the pixels right there. I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to click on done, and I'm going to click on done once again. And as soon as I do that, I can click on close to close out of that. And another thing that I didn't show you as well was how you can add, that you need to add for your variations. You need to add the quantity of the product. So I can bulk add all of them, and I show you how to do bulking. So I can select all. So when you click on all, it's going to select all of them, and I can edit quantity. I can edit all those other items. Let me just say I want to make everything 10. So I will apply to all, and it's going to update all of them, and then I can click on save. All right. And you can also click on that if you want to add an image for a specific item, like the black one. Maybe you want to use that, done. Or you want to add the color black to only the black ones. Just click there to select the black, and then add images. That, done. And you're going to see it updates all these images. And then white. Let's select white, and we come here and add images for the white one. Done. And then for the red one as well, add images, red, and you can save. And that's pretty much it for this section. I'll see you in the next section. Let's see how to duplicate a Shopify product. So just click on the product that you want to duplicate, and I'm going to select this one. And up here, you can just click on duplicate, and you can change the title to match the new product. And you can select the items that you want to, and I'll just select even the inventory quantities. You can also check that, but I'm going to uncheck that. And then product status, of course, we want to set this to active. I'm just going to click on duplicate product. And as such, the product has been duplicated. So if you come here under all our products, let's see if it's available. Let's come here under all products, and you're going to see that the product has been duplicated. Let's go and edit it. And we can add an image. So once you duplicate the product, ensure that you add the media once again, and then come down here and see which items will need to be updated. The stock, you can update that. All the other features of the variations, you can update that as well. And for this, let me change the black. Let me add the black colors. So I'm going to select black, add image of black, give the image of black to that, and then the white ones, I will come here, add the image for the white ones, white, and then finally the red one, add image for the red one, save. And if we refresh, you're going to see the product is now showing up there. And if you need to change the prices or anything else, you can do that. So one thing I can notice here is that some of my product images, they are not aligning. So what you need to do is make sure that all your images are of the same proportion. So if the height is 900 pixels, make sure that all the images you use in your shop are 900 pixels. You can edit them, and there are lots of free editing tools that you can use. And on Windows or on Linux, I usually use GIMP. It's kind of, once you learn how to use it, you're going to love it because it's free and you can use it on any platform. Let's see which platforms it's available for. So it's a cross-platform tool for Windows, Mac, and Linux. So it's free for all these platforms. It's very powerful. You can use it. Just learn how to use it. It's not that difficult. Okay, so that's it for this video. In this section, let's talk about Shopify themes. And in this video, I just want to concentrate on the themes that are available on the Shopify repository. So the first thing, go to your online store, click there on online store. If you do want to edit your theme, you can click here to customize. And this is where you're going to design your theme. You're going to change images and so much more. These are all the sections that are available on this page, and you can edit them appropriately. So that's pretty much standard for every theme that you get, but some of the features may be different. But this is exactly how you'll be able to edit all different themes that you decide to install on Shopify. If you do want to even edit the code for your theme, you can just click there and you'll be able to add code in the various templates that you want to edit on the particular theme that is currently active. And you can even download the theme file if you do want to download this theme. If you want to change themes, you can just come down here, just scroll down, and you're going to see the theme library. And you see here, the first thing I want to talk about is you can upload a theme. So if you do have a theme that you purchased from a different platform that is not available on the Shopify theme repository, then you can just click here to upload the theme. Once you upload it, you'll have to activate it to make it the default theme, to make it the active theme. So that's something you can do as well. You can buy themes from places like Theme Forest and any other places that sell custom Shopify themes. And we do have free themes that are available on the Shopify repository, and you can also go and check out the theme store. So you can visit the theme store. This is going to take you to themes.shopify.com. So once you get here and you don't know which theme you want, what you can do is you can just come here to explore the themes. And you see here, you can drill them down based on the price. There are currently 9 free themes, and then there are also paid themes. You can just come into whichever theme that you want to preview. Let's say you want to preview all of them, and perhaps you're just interested in the free themes. This is the one that is default. This is the one that is currently default on all Shopify stores. If you do want to check this, you can just open that in a new tab. And if you want to preview it, you want to check the demo, just click there to view the demo. And this is a nice way to just get an idea for how a theme is going to look like on your Shopify store if you use the same design principles. Let's say this is the one that you want to install. You can just click there to add the theme. And let's just do this as an example. I add the theme. Let me just click on that. And then I'll just come back to online store. And you can see this is currently our default theme, but let's see if the one that we've installed is now available for us to use. And if you come here, you're going to see that the one that we installed has been added here. So what you can do if you want to make it your default theme, you can just come here under actions, and then you can publish. So when you publish it, it's going to become your active theme. So just click there to publish. And so if you come up here, you're going to see that this is the default theme now, the active theme, and you can just come in here and customize it just like the other one. And I still have this window open for the debut theme, and you see that it's pretty much just the same process. If you want to add a section, you can do so. But this is not the theme that is currently default, so I'm probably going to get some issues there. Let's come back here, and if you do want to add any section here, these are sections. You can make them visible or invisible. Let us scroll all the way back to the top, and up here, if you don't want any of these sections not to show up, you can just make it hidden, just make it invisible, and you can add your own sections as much as you want to. All right, so this is not a video about how to design your shop. We're going to see how to do that in upcoming videos. For now, that's how you can install your theme. If you do want to install a theme, and you can just customize it, make it active and customize it. Now, the last thing I want us to look at is there are certain times that you may want to add some custom code to your theme. So if you don't want to add code, you'll just come in here under add actions, and then you'll click on edit code. But before you do that, especially if you're a complete beginner, the best thing you can do for yourself is you need to duplicate this theme. And when you duplicate it, you're going to get the theme in its default state. And if you look down here, you're going to see that you do have the copy of the debut. It should be the copy of narrative. This should be the copy of narrative, not the copy of debut. But let's just see if we remove this. Remove. And then we come back and we try to make a duplicate of the narrative theme. Okay, so that's what I want, the copy of narrative. So the point of this is just to make sure that this is like a backup of the theme. So if you want to edit the code, just come in here. First of all, you duplicate it just for safety reasons. And then you come back here under edit code. Now, the way Shopify works is that there are all these templates, and these templates are the ones that are responsible for adding content to your theme. And you can learn all about this. The Shopify documentation is very thorough, and you can use it to find your way around editing any of these themes. Like, let's say you want to add something on all pages. If you want to add something on all pages, you can look at this page.liquid. This is the one that's responsible for adding items on a page. This is the one that shows content within your page. Okay, so maybe you want to add something on the products page. You can do that right here. You can edit all these elements here. Maybe you're adding some HTML. You can find out about how to work with Liquid template. Liquid is a custom templating engine by Shopify, and that's what they use for all this. So if you don't know about this, you don't need to worry about this. There are lots of people who can help you to do all this, who can help you to customize your theme in any way that you want to. You also have sections here, and these are, maybe you want to add something on the footer. You can add something on the footer. Perhaps maybe you're adding something on the header. Where is the header? Maybe you're adding something on the header. You can add some content on the header. So if you don't know how to work with the Shopify templating engine, you'll probably have a hard time working with this. But if you want to learn how to work with Shopify themes, just go to the Shopify developer documentation and learn about Liquid, the templating engine that you can use to manipulate Shopify themes. So that's just something that I wanted to look at. But if this is something you're not interested in, then it's definitely not important to you, and you should just ignore this part. So once you've made all your changes, you can just click to go back. Once you make the changes and save them, you can click to go back, right? And if you introduce any kind of errors into your theme by the changes that you made, and you can't trace your steps back and delete the code that you added, you can just come in here under actions, and you can publish the copy, and then you can publish the copy, right? And any customizations that you did will not be lost when you do that if they were already under this theme. So that's how to work with Shopify themes. If you do have questions about this, just feel free to let me know. I will see you in another section. For now, I will publish this theme, and then I will come to this one, and I want to remove it. So I'm going to click that to remove, confirm, and that's going to end this section. So I'll see you next time. Hi, and welcome back to another section. So in the last section, what you saw was how to work with Shopify themes. You saw how to install a new theme if you want to, how you can duplicate the theme if you want to edit the code, how you can customize some parts of the theme if you do want to. Now, in this video, let's start designing our site. And to design your site, everything just comes here under customize. So if you're not already on this page, just click on online store and you're going to land on this page. So the first thing I want to do is I just want to use the default Shopify theme, which is debut theme. And I'm just going to come here and publish. So if you don't know how to install a theme, just go and watch the last section, because I showed you how you can do that. And then I want to remove this because there's no point of having it. So let's see how we can design our site. And maybe at some other point, I will switch the theme and we can see what else we can do with a different theme. And that is only if I have the time and the energy. For now, let's just work with debut theme. So I'm just going to come here and customize. The first thing I want to talk about is all this, and you just want to find your way around the theme editor. So if you do want to find your way around the theme editor, just know that every page that you've created, you can edit it. Just select the page that you want to edit. You can select product pages. Maybe you want to do something on the footer. You want to add something on the footer for the product pages only. Then you can add a content. Maybe you want to add some text. You do want to add a menu. Perhaps you want to add a menu of certain items, right? You want to add quick links. You can do that here. And you'll see how to work with menus. For now, let's just remove this. Just remove quick links. You want to work with a different page. Maybe you do want to change the error page 404 not found. You may want to edit this as well. So maybe the header, you want to change something about this. You want to change the logo for that. You want to show the announcement. The announcement is usually at the very top. If you do have an announcement to tell people, maybe you're having sales, you can add that at the top. And then maybe you want to change the footer for this. Okay, so if you want to change this, maybe you can probably change this using custom HTML. If you just go to the 4.4 template, you can change that. That's just finding a way around here. If you want to edit anything else here, if you have other pages that you want to edit, you can select them from there. So this video is just about finding a way around this editor. And if you want to edit any of these elements, image, you can select an image. You can use free images, or you can upload an image. Let's look at the free images. Anything that you choose to use on Shopify, you're always going to get these free images regardless of whichever theme you're using. So just as an example, let's say I want to use that. I can click it and then select it. So if you do want to edit anything about the image, you can change various elements about the image, various settings about the image. You do want to add the text overlay here. You want to change that, you can do that here. We're going to do that right now. I'm just doing an overview. And maybe you want to add a section on this. You can just select what you want to add. You can even add a slideshow if you do want to. I know most people like slideshows. So if you want to add a slideshow, you can do that right here. You can add an image on slide 1, select an image. Let's use that. Select that. And you can add title, subheading, and all this text. You can change that right here. Those are very easy to find right here. And then let's say you want to select that image again. So let's use a different image for the second slide. I can use that. You can edit all these different settings for that image and then just go back. If you do want to add another slide, you can do that as well. And then you can choose to auto rotate the slides. And after how long? Maybe after 5 seconds, you can change the image and so on and so forth. And maybe you want the slider to be up, so just drag it to the very top. And since you have the slide up there, you probably may want to remove this one. Okay. And if you don't want to delete this, you can just select it and then you come in here and you click remove section, and that's going to remove that section. So you can literally delete all these elements, all of them, and then just add the items that you want to add on your store, on your front end, without having to use the ones that are already available here for you. Anything that you want to change, you can just click, and regardless of the theme that you're using, all these elements will be available for you to choose and edit as you wish. So in this video, you've just seen an overview of how you can customize the page. In the next section, let's start designing our store. And my store is about menswear. So we're going to design our store based on that. And of course, before I do anything, I have to save for the changes to reflect on the front end. That's it for this video about how to customize your Shopify theme, your Shopify store. Basically how you can customize any page on your store. I'll see you in the next section when we start designing our store based on our own branding, which is for menswear. So I'm going to see you in that video. Let's meet then. Let's start designing our online store. So first, let's just go here and have a preview of what we currently have. I did an overview in the last video on how you can customize your store, and you can look at that video if you do want to. Let's go into online store, and we want to start customizing our online store homepage. So just click there, customize. Let's just start from scratch, and what you can do is you can remove all these elements and we're going to add them. We're going to add the elements that we want. Even that slideshow, I can remove it. Text, columns, all these elements, I'll just remove all of them. I've removed all the content sections, and you can see our page is currently empty. So since my store is a menswear, sort of like a fashion website. So a fashion website is more visual than most, and that means that I can add a slider. However, if you're selling certain things like electronics, you don't really need a slider, because sliders are just images and they're going to add the load on your site. So if you want the homepage to load much faster, you should just use a still image if your store doesn't require a slider. But there are certain stores that definitely require a slider, and something like a fashion website, you should probably look into adding a slider. So I'm going to click there on add sections, and I'm going to add a slider as our first content element. I'm just going to scroll down and I'm going to come here under images and I'm going to select slideshow. You can select an image with text, all these kinds. You can select a gallery, but I'm going to select a slideshow. Then click on select. I will add the first image and I want to upload an image. So once I've uploaded the image and it shows up here, I'm going to say the reasoning behind the images that I'm using for my slider. So I'll click select. You can change all this content. You can see image, slide. So the idea is that when somebody comes to your site, this is an online store, they need to know in a glance what exactly your store is all about. So if you sell shirts, you sell electronics, whatever you're selling, just make sure that the homepage in a first glance above the fold is pretty descriptive of the item that you're selling, and they can get an idea of what you sell. So for me, I'm going to save, and when I save, I can come in here and refresh. And when I do that, you'll see that our image has changed. And let's change this text as well. So let it say something that is pretty descriptive of our site, so that when somebody comes in, they will get an idea of what the store is all about. That's very important. You need to let people know in advance what the store is all about. I'm going to come into the header and I can say something like, we sell men's wear. All right, so once I do that, I can just click to save. You can also add a button here. Maybe you want to send them directly to the shop. Just say view catalog. And you can add the button link. You can choose, just choose product, then all products. So something else, let's just come in here and I want to show you, you can change your designs. You can change your designs colors. If you come back out here and you come down to theme settings, you can change the colors for buttons and so on. So just know that you can come in here and change the primary buttons, all the different colors that you want to change. You want to change for your site so that it can match your design and branding. You can do that here. So there we have one slideshow. And let me just refresh the page so that it can reflect it on this end as well. So coming back to our slideshow, let's look at the different settings that you have for this. You can change the slide height. If you do want it to be smaller or medium, you can change the height as it was initially. You can change the size there. You can change the size of the texts. You can make them larger. The text alignment, of course, you want that in the center. And you can add the shadow overlay. So that's going to make the text on the home page larger. And of course, we do want the shadow overlay, and you can auto rotate the slides, definitely. So if you just want one image, you can just do that and remove that, okay? But you're going to add auto rotation, and I'm going to add a second image. And I'll just click on select, and I can say a different heading here. So that's something you can do. If you do want to add a button, maybe you want this to link to a specific product collection, you can do that. So I'm just going to link this to the formal collection, and I can just say view formal catalog. And then I will add a link. If you do want to add a link here manually, you can just paste in a link, okay? That's possible. But I do want a collection, so I'm going to go under collections, and let's see if I do have a formal. Yes, I do have this. And you saw how to create collections. So if you don't know how to do that, just go back into the section about that and watch it. And I'm going to save. And if I reload, this, you can see that when somebody comes into the store, they can instantly just tell that, you know what, this store is definitely selling us a particular type of product. And that's what you want for your online store. So above the fold, make sure that the item that you're selling is identifiable to your online visitors. As soon as they come into your store on the homepage, they need to have an idea about what your store is all about. Like if you come to this store, you're definitely going to tell. You can definitely tell that, all right, this store sells stuff for men. And we've also added here. That's in the title, and it's pretty much everywhere. So if you're looking for a present, maybe for a boyfriend, or you're just a guy looking for your own shirt, you'll definitely feel like this is a place where you can get what you're looking for, because it's pretty descriptive just on the homepage. So make sure you think about that when you're designing your homepage. It's very important for people to know exactly what your store is all about. So that's it for this video, and in the next one, let's continue designing this, and we're going to see how we can add various collections down here in the different content categories with the different content categories that we have. So if you come in here, we do have content sections that we can add, and we're going to see what else we can add down here so that our homepage has a lot more to tell. So I'll see you in that next video. See you then. This is where we stopped last time, and we're going to continue editing our store. So don't worry about the navigation. We're going to do that once we're done with the homepage. So down here, let's add something, and then we're going to continue adding more items on the homepage. So if I come here and I go back to online store, I can continue customizing the store. Just click on customize. I can add another section, and I just want to add some kind of a text, and that will just act as a separator, and you can also use it as a place to add more information to people that visit your site. So let's see what we have here. Texts, I can add rich text, and it will be something like that. I'm just going to click on select, and we can edit this, and we can just say welcome to Brothers Wear, and I will add some text down here. That's pretty much it for that. If you want to make it wide display, you can do that. It's going to be a wide display, and that's what I want to do. And people are probably not going to read this. This is just a way for me to add more text on the page, and text is always helpful to search engines. And you can change the size. If you do want it to be larger, you can do that and make it larger. I will save, and you can preview that. Let's see. You can leave that, or if you don't like it, you can remove it, but I'm going to leave it there because the more text I have on my page, the better. And make sure the text that you add is easy to read, and it's not too much that it overwhelms the page and overwhelms your visitors. So the next thing that I can add here, I can add a curated list of products that I may want people to look at. So I'll just go back, and I want to add another section, and this time round, let's add something here in collections, and we can add a featured collection. So I'm just going to select that, and you can see this is what it's going to look like. So we can give it any title, and then I can choose a collection from here. I can choose that. This is a manual collection that I created. If you want to see how to create manual collections, you can look at that video that I did about that. And then I'm just going to click on select to select that collection. And then I want to reduce. You can see that this collection by default gives me multiple rows, but I only want to have one with 3 items. So I'm going to take it down to 1. And of course, you can add that button because it is definitely a nice way for you to link to all your products. And you can also change the collection if you do create a different collection, and maybe you want to edit this page in future. You can just come here and change the collection if you want to highlight a different collection. And you can refresh to look at how the page is coming along. So you can see the images are not matching here, but this is something that I spoke about. You can edit your images to ensure that all the images on your site are the same height and the same width. Make sure you have a framework for how wide and how high your images are going to be. They need to be proportionate if you want to have consistency throughout your website. Let me add something to separate this from this. I just don't like how it moves from there to here. So let's add an image. Let's add an image with text overlay. Once I've added it, I'm going to push it to the top. You can add any kind of image that you want to add with the message that you want to portray. Maybe I can add something like support, contact us, or something like that. And it's only for the sole purpose of separating this and this. So I'll select an image. Let me upload an image. I will select the image, and just remember, for every image that you upload, you should always add an alt text. Okay, make sure you add an alternative text. This is very good for SEO. Do not let any image get published without adding that. I'll remove all of this. I can remove that as well, and for that it can be the button. I want to add a button there, and I can just say something like contact support or contact us. And this is just an example. You can add anything that you want here. Maybe you're linking to a specific post, you're linking to a specific page. That's something that you can do using this. So I'm going to add contact support, and the link, you can paste a link, you can choose a page. I know I don't have any pages, so I'm just going to choose a product, but of course, this is supposed to link to a page, and you can always come back here, delete it, and then add the correct link. So I want to push it so that it can come here. I will just select and then drag, and I will save it once again. And if I come back here and refresh, so you can use a better image, or you can use any kind of message that you want to portray here. So just know that the only reason I've added this is to separate this block from this block. And then here you can just try to build trust. Now for the next 3 blocks, let's try and build some trust. So I can come in here and I will add an image with text. If I come here, I can choose an image with text. And for this, I'll just select, and you can use this just to tell people why you, and try to build trust with your customers. So you can select an image. You make sure the images that you're using are lightweight images so that they don't affect the load speed for your page. So I'm just using this as a sample, but of course you need to use a nice image. And as usual, come in here and add an alternative text. That's very important. Here I'll just say why us. You can add your text there. And if you don't like the positioning of this, you can change the text, so the text location, and you can use whichever design that you want to use for that. And if you do have a button that you want to link to, you can link the button here. Just add the button text and then the button link there. And I'm going to leave that as such. Here, you can also add testimonials. So let's say I come in here and I saw that there's a testimonials block that I can use. I can come in here and just choose testimonials, and I'm going to click select. You can edit every testimonial, add the content for each of this. Just select on an item, and then you add the testimonial and the author of the testimonial. If you come back, you can change the heading, what people say. So there are other blocks that you can add here. Like for instance, if you have a blog, you can add some of your posts, some of the latest posts that you have. So here, just click on blog post, and I do want the blog post to be before this. So I will take it back, and I'm just going to drag it until it is here. So any blog post that you have, they will get pulled as soon as you start creating the blog posts. And you definitely need a blog. It's one of the best ways to bring in people into your site. It's just a nice way to bring in organic traffic into your website. Okay, let's finalize the page in the next video. I'll see you in the next video when we continue from here. Hi there and welcome back. In the next video, I want us to work on the navigation. So in this video, let's create some of the pages that we haven't created yet. And I want to create an about us page, contact us page, and some of the legal pages such as return policy and so on. So let's start with the about us page, and we're just going to come back here. Let's go into online store. If you're not already on the online store design area, just click on online store, and I will go into pages. I want to create a new page. And I want to add a page. I don't have any pages created yet. I'm going to add a page, and I want to create an about us page. So try and tell people about your business, about yourself, and just learn how you can write a very engaging about us page, and then you'll use those techniques to create an about us page. For me, I'm just going to come in here and I want to get some sample content, so I will get that from there, and I will put it in there. You can add images if you want to. Use this content editing elements to add anything that you want to add on your page. And you can also edit the SEO. If you click on that, you can write an SEO title for that. You can write a description for this, and you can change the URL for the page. For me, I'm just going to save. You can also make this page hidden if you don't want it to be shown on your homepage, on your public website. And the next one I want to create is a contact us page. So the next one is contact us. So for this, let's come back here and choose a template, and I'm going to choose the contact template, which has a form. And I'm just going to, if you want to change, make sure you edit the SEO for your page, okay? These are also very useful for search engine optimization. Then I'm going to click on save, and I'll click there to view the page, and you can see this is what it's like. So people can contact you if they have any questions for you. So any content that you add here will be put before the form. So if I come back and I refresh, you'll see that that will be there. All right, so the next page is I want us to create our legal pages. So to create this, let's use settings. I'm going to come here and I want to open settings in a new page. So I'm going to open in a new tab. And for this, you just come here under legal and you can generate some of these pages. So you can put all the pages for all this, okay? For all these different pages. So the refund policy, I will create templates, and then refund policy, copy, come back here, and I want to create a new page. So let me just click on pages, add page, refund policy, and I will copy the entire content there, and then I will paste that, and that's it. I will save that. So go ahead and create them for all these other pages. Let me just create one more, privacy policy, copy, create, and let's come back to pages. I want to create another page, add page, paste. So make sure you edit them to match whatever is true for your website. So just don't copy and leave it like that. Make sure you edit them so that it can match the reality of your business and your website. And then I will save. So if we come back here and we refresh, you can see all our pages have been created, but they're not showing up on the navigation. So in the next video, let's see how to work with the navigation in Shopify. So I will see you in that next one. In this video, let's see how to work with the Shopify navigation. So let's help our customers navigate our website, and we're going to do that using the menu. So the way that the Shopify menu system works is that there are menu blocks. So this is a menu block, and this is the main menu block. And down here, we also have a footer menu. So depending on your theme, you may have different menu blocks. So for this one, I can see it has the main menu here, and it has the footer menu. Other menus you're going to find, other themes, you may find that there is a menu here, there's another one at the top, and so on. So it depends on the theme design. So let's come back to Shopify, and then I'm going to go to navigation. So if I click here on navigation, if you're not already here, just click on online store and then click on navigation, and you're going to end up on the same page. So by default, Shopify already has the footer menu block and the main menu block set up for us. We can just click on them and then add the menu items that you want to add. So you can add different menu items if you want to link to a page, a collection, and so on. So make sure you create the elements that you want on your menu before you set up the menu. So I've set up all the pages, I've set up all the collections. Let's see how we can add them to our menu items. So if your theme has multiple menu blocks, you can click here to add another menu. Maybe you want to add another menu at the header. Maybe there's a header menu block called header block. You can just click there to add a menu, and you can add the menu there, give it a name, and so on. Okay, that's if your theme has multiple menu blocks. But for me, I can see my theme right now only has the main menu and the footer menu. That's what my theme has. So I'm going to click here on the main menu, and I can add different items on the main menu. So I'm going to go here, and you can even give it a different name if you want to. I'm just going to leave it as main menu. And on the main menu, you can see we already have home and catalog. So catalog is basically your shop, right? It shows all your products. So I'm going to edit this, and I'm going to call it shop. So I'm going to click there to apply changes. So let's say I want to link to the different collections that I have, right? So I'm going to click there, add menu, and let's see. I don't know collections. Which collections do I have here? I can just choose one of these collections, and I'm going to use this as an example. So let me just say these are top picks. And I want to link to, you can link to all these kinds of items. You see, you can link to a homepage, collection, a specific product. You can link to different pages and so on. So I'm going to link to a collection here, and let's choose this collection. You can call it whatever you want to. It depends on what you're selling. And you can also filter the collection with tags, but I don't want to do that because this collection is already filtered. So I'm going to click there to add, and this element has now been added to our menu. And most importantly, we do have an about us page. Let's link to our about us page. So make sure you create all these elements, these pages before you link to them. So if you want to link to a page, just click there, choose the page, and I want to link to about us page, and I'm going to click on add. And for this, I can actually just call it about, and then I will save. I also want to link to contact us page, contact us. So pages, choose contact us, add. So once we've done all that, let's just come here and click on save menu. And once we save it, if you go to the front end, you're going to see that our menu has now been updated with the products with the menu items that we've added to it. So if you want to rearrange any of these items, it's as easy as just dragging the element until you see that. Okay, if you want to change any elements, just drag them until you see that line, and then you save the menu and your items will be rearranged. Let's go back to the footer menu. And as I said, if your theme has multiple menu items, you can just create another menu and then add the menu items that you want for that specific menu block. So I'm going to click there on the footer menu, and on the footer menu, I want to add some of these items. We can add some of these anyway. The same items. Contact us. People will definitely look at your footer if they want to contact you. And then we can also add contact us. You can add the about page. You can add the home page, all those other pages. Let's add the return policy. I know I created the return policy. So pages, I know it's refund. I didn't create the return, but I'll just use that. And then click add. So you can add all these pages on your footer. And once you save the menu, if you go to your front end and then you scroll down, let's refresh, and you're going to see your footer menu has been added right there, and you can add different items for your footer if you want to. So let's click back on navigation. Okay, so the next thing is how can you create nested navigation or sub items. If you want to create drop-down menus in Shopify, you can do that as well. Let's come back to main menu, and let's say that on our home page here, I want to create collections. I want to create categories, and I'm going to list all the collections in our store under categories. So I will click there on add menu item, and I'm just going to click on collections. I'm just going to create categories. Now Here on link, it's important for you to know, do you want categories to link to something or not? If you want it to link to something, you can choose the link here. If you don't want it to link to anything, you can just use the pound sign, and this will make it not link to anything. Okay, so that is if you don't want it to link to anything. And I'm just going to click on add. Okay, for now we have to create a link for it. Let's just choose all collections for it. Now this is going to be the main menu item with drop downs. So let's add the drop down items that we want for this, and I'm going to add here short sleeved. These are the collections that we created. And I'm going to add that. And what you can do is you can just click it and then drag it to be under that. Once you see this, that's how you create a sub-menu item. Just create it and then drag it wherever you want it. But of course, we do want it under categories. So I will put it there under categories. And then I will add the next one, which is long sleeved. So do this for all your collections. And long sleeved, of course, will link to the collections called long sleeved. And then I will click on add, and you can see now we can just continue adding them under this. All right, if you want to add any menu items outside of this outside of this sub menu, just create there. Then let's create another one, and I don't know which collections I have. Let's see the collections that I have here, and I will click there. You can see it has automatically given it the name formal shirts, and I'm going to click on add, and that will add it under this menu item. So that's how you can create the sub menu items, drop down menu items in Shopify, and then apply the changes, and then I will save, and then I will refresh the page, and now we have categories. And okay, even if you click on it, it will just bring this, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so that's pretty much how to work with navigations in Shopify. In this video, you've seen how you can create navigations, and you've also seen how you can create sub-menu items if you do want to create drop-down menus in Shopify. So the most important thing for you to take away from this video is that different themes will come with different menu blocks. So this has a menu block there, and it also has a menu block on the footer. So there are certain themes that will have two blocks, two menus at the top here, and you may need to create another menu for that. To do that, just come here under navigation and then click on add menu, and you can create a new menu block. And that menu block, once you create it, you can just select where you want to put it. If you go to your customizer, depending on what your theme allows. So that's it for this video. I will see you in the next one. Hi there, and welcome back to this video. In the last video, you saw how to work with the Shopify navigation, and you saw how to create sub-menu items in Shopify. In this video, let's see how to set up payment in Shopify. So I'm not going to dwell much on this because it definitely depends on where you are. If certain payment integrations are not supported wherever you are, then you won't be able to use those, but there will always be something that you can use. So let's go into Shopify settings, and I'll just come here under settings. And once you're here, just go to payments. And the payments that are available to you, depending on your location, are listed for you. So you can activate any of this. PayPal Express Checkout, just activate this. This is probably one that most people use all over the world. Most people have PayPal accounts, so make sure you have one of these activated. Just click on it, and once you click on it, you'll be able to access your PayPal, and then allow Shopify to connect. So that's that. Allow the Express Checkout, and then alternative payment methods. You can choose alternative methods that are available based on your location, and then you can also choose manual payment methods. Now, manual payment methods, let's just look at some of this. You can do cash on delivery. If you sell items within your country, then cash on delivery is a possible means of payment. You just say they're cash on delivery, then you give details. Like in my country, you can tell people to pay via M-Pesa. As soon as they receive the product, they can pay via M-Pesa or by cash. It's entirely up to you. Just give the details here, and this will be available on the front end for you. Okay, just give the details clear details, step by step, clear details of how they will make the payments. As soon as you receive the product, you give the cash to the delivery guy. So that's something you can do. And then you can also choose alternative payment methods, and there are lots of different payment alternatives that you can choose from. Okay, so you can filter by all the options that are available here. Okay, so you know where you are and you know what is accepted. You can also accept Bitcoin. You can accept BitPay if you have a Bit wallet account. So just make sure that you set up your Bit. You can learn more about this, okay? And then you'll get your API key, and you can add your API key here. If you go to BitPay, you can set up an account. You can set up an account on BitPay, and then you download the app and everything that you need to access your Bitcoin and so on. And then you get your API key from within BitPay, and then you add the API key inside here, activate. So most of it will be done on BitPay. All you need on this end is just to add your API key. And then let's go back. So these are just some options that you have here. Look at all of them. Maybe you have Skrill wherever you are. The options that are available to you will be listed for you here. Okay, so these are all the options that I can set up for me. And depending on where you are, some of this will not be available, and some of them will be available. And if you do have Stripe, wherever you are, make sure you activate Stripe, because Stripe is a very reliable payment method. If you have Square, ensure that you set up Square as well. Right? Most people actually prefer Stripe to PayPal. Most merchants prefer Stripe to PayPal, and some people also prefer to use Square. Make sure you add as many payment options as you can, so that if your buyer doesn't have one option, they can use the option that they have. So this is beyond the scope of this video, and I cannot help you set up anything. All I can do is just give you the guidance as I've done in this video, and it's up to you to click on each of them and see the options that are there for you and activate them. Once you do that, you don't need to do anything else. This is the good thing about Shopify. You don't need to install anything. You just set up the API keys, you set up your account where you have to log in, you just log in, and that's it. And you don't need to do anything else. All right. And then once people make the payments, you'll just come in here and look at the orders, fulfill your orders, and then you'll go to wherever the money is usually collected. Like if you set up PayPal, you'll just go to your PayPal account and you can access your money there. Or if you do have some debit or credit card processors, you'll go to those accounts like Stripe, Square, and you can collect your money from there, and you can send the money to your bank account from there. Shopify is just a means that works with the APIs for those different companies, and then you are the one that has to go and get the money from those payment options that you've set up. So that's it for this video. In the next video, let's see how to set up the domain, and then we can wrap up this Shopify tutorial. I will see you in the next video. Hi there and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can connect your third-party domain to your Shopify store. So let's say maybe you've bought a domain from GoDaddy, Namecheap, or wherever, and you want to connect it to your Shopify store. You're going to see how you can do that in this video. I will be using Cloudflare for this. So why I'm using Cloudflare is because it's just easy to use, and it will be a much easier process for you to change your DNS settings using Cloudflare instead of using your domain provider. So Cloudflare is free to use, and this is what we will be using for our DNS burden. I like to call it DNS burden. So we're going to use this for all our DNS burden. We're going to use Cloudflare, regardless of wherever your domain was bought from. You're going to use Cloudflare, and I'm going to show you how to connect your domain with Cloudflare. Cloudflare is the #1 DNS provider, if I'm not wrong. Most people actually use Cloudflare. So let's go back to Shopify, and I'm going to come here under online store, and then I will go into domains, and I want to connect the domain here. So you see here, you can buy a new domain, you can transfer domain to Shopify, or you can connect an existing domain. It's probably preferable for you to connect your domain from a third-party platform, because you never know, maybe someday you won't be using Shopify and you don't want to go through the hassle of transferring again. So let's just click here on connect existing domain, and I'm going to connect this domain. Let me connect this domain. Next. Okay, so I can do this first, or I can connect it to Cloudflare first, whichever one. But first, let's just connect it to Cloudflare. So just create an account, okay? It's free to create. Create an account, sign up with your email address. Sign up. You can see I'm already signed up, and it has automatically logged me in. So I can add a site. So let me click here to add a site. If you already have a Cloudflare account and you want to add more website, you can just click up there to add a site, or you can choose whichever site. Somewhere up here, you're going to have the option to choose a site once you have them. Now I'm going to click on add site, and I will paste in the domain that you want to add. So what Cloudflare is going to do is going to try to pull in all the details that are currently being used by that domain. So the DNS records for it are going to be pulled into Cloudflare. So we want to use the free plan. There you go. Just click on this one, 0, and then continue. So they're going to scan that domain, and it's going to pull in all the records that it currently has on Namecheap are going to get pulled here. But actually, I don't need all of them. All these records, I don't need them, because I want to use Shopify for this. So the reason I'm telling you to actually use Cloudflare is that in future, maybe you buy hosting from somewhere, you buy mail hosting from somewhere, you can just come in here and add them easily. It's a very easy thing to use, okay? And I'm going to show you how to change these DNS records. But before we do that, the next thing that we need to do is we need to go into Namecheap and change the name servers. So it's that simple. The only thing that Namecheap is going to have, or wherever your domain is hosted, will be the name servers for this. So I really don't need any of this, okay? I can delete all of them. I don't need. Oh, I see that it had already pulled them. I tried to create it back there. I don't need any of this. I can just delete them. Let me just forget about this for now. But I'm going to click here on continue. But I need to delete all of this. I don't need them. So the next process, and this is the only thing that you need to do on Namecheap or wherever your domain is hosted. This is the only thing. Okay, so once you get here, the next step is for you to add the Cloudflare name servers, and that's all you have to do. Okay, just click copy the name servers from here, the Cloudflare name servers, and then add that wherever your domain is being hosted. Change the name servers. So just find out where you can change the name servers on your platform, and they will probably be somewhere. It will probably be somewhere around there. Just find them on the provider you're using. So for me on Namecheap, I'm just going to say I want to use custom DNS, and I'm going to use the name servers from Namecheap, from Cloudflare. I'm going to copy the second one, and I will paste in the second one right there. And then I'm going to save that. And as soon as I do this, I may need to give it some time for it to propagate on the internet, for the internet to register this. But I can just come in here, and once I add make sure you add the Cloudflare name servers, okay? These are the Cloudflare name servers. Once you do that, just click on check the name servers, and forget about that. We don't need that. And then I'm going to finish later all of that. Let's just check once again to see if the name servers have already propagated. Let's click on check name servers. Cloudflare is now checking the name servers for that. And once it confirms that the name servers that it has are the same, once it identifies that the name servers are this, then now you can change all your DNS records. You can change them right here on Cloudflare. And even if you move your domain, even if you stop using Shopify, you can just come in here and change the DNS settings once again, provided your domain is still being hosted on Namecheap. So wherever your domain is hosted, the only thing you need to do over there is change the name servers. And then once you do that, you can come in here and change the DNS records. And that's what we want to do for Shopify, so that it can record, so that the DNS records that are being shown here will show the ones for Shopify. So just come in here under DNS, and what I need to do here is I need to add an A record. So I'm going to delete all of this. I don't need these ones. So in future, if you do buy mail hosting from somewhere else, you can just come in here and add the records that you're given, and that will make sure that your mail is hosted appropriately. So right now, I believe it's still propagating, just to identify that these are the name servers being used. So first, let's come in here, and I'm just going to click here on verify connection. So once you click on add a domain, you can even edit the domain that you want to add there, and then click next, and then verify connection. what we need to do is we need to create a CNAME record and we need to create an A record, and these are very easy to create on Cloudflare. So this we're going to add both of this on Cloudflare, and I'm going to copy the IP address. We need to add an A record. An A record basically tells the internet visitor where to direct the domain to, so it will be redirected to this IP address. And I'm going to come here and I'm going to add an A record, and I need to add an A record, and I'll use @ I will use the @ and this basically replaces it with my root domain, which in this case is that. So instead of typing this, just type @ and it's going to be the same as typing that. And then I'm going to add the IP address here, and then I'm going to paste it, and that's pretty much it for this. I'm going to click and save. So the problem that you're having is that it is still not, Cloudflare has still not recognized. Okay, Cloudflare is now connected. Good. Now I will come back here and let me just refresh. So once the site is connected, I can add an A record, add a record, and I will add an A record, and I will use @ and then the IP address there. So if it tells us again that it cannot do that, we're just going to disable that. Let me save, and I will uncheck that, and then I will save. And once I do that, you can see now that the IP address is being redirected here. So if people visit this website, it will redirect them to this IP address on Shopify. And I still need to add, which one is that? I still need to add the CNAME record, and the CNAME record goes here. So there, let's add another record, and this time around we want to add a CNAME record. CNAME record is just like a redirect. So if people go to www.press.com, it's going to take them to myshops.com, and myshops.myshopify.com is going to redirect them to the correct site. So I will save that, and this one as well cannot be proxied, so I'm just going to save. So I don't know right now if I visit this, if it's going to take me to Shopify. Go. Okay, this one is probably going to take a while. Just give it some time. But the most important thing is that now you've done it right. Okay, that's all you need to do to take your Shopify. That's all you need to do to connect Shopify with a third-party domain. Make sure you're using Cloudflare, because Cloudflare is very easy to use, and it makes your work much easier. So you see, as soon as I do that, you can see now my domain is connected, and that's what we needed for this video, how to connect a Shopify domain with a third-party domain. So it's very advisable for you to have your domain somewhere else other than on Shopify, because you never know, maybe you won't be using Shopify forever. You may be moving to something else. Maybe you may decide to move to WordPress, you may decide to move to Squarespace, whatever, and that's just one of the reasons why I decided to show you how you can connect your third-party domain. And in this video, I've shown you how you can connect it using Cloudflare. So just a recap, what you need to do: first of all, connect your domain. First of all, create an account on Cloudflare, and then under Cloudflare, add your site. I've shown you how to add your site, and then take these name servers that Cloudflare is going to give you, and those name servers, take them to whatever platform you're using, whether you're using GoDaddy, any other domain provider that you're using. Just take the Cloudflare name servers. Please note that it's name servers, not DNS. Okay, the name servers, you can change your name servers any platform, wherever you bought your domain from. There will always be a way for you to change your name servers. So add the 2 name servers that Cloudflare provides you, and then as soon as you do that, you go back to Cloudflare, and then here under DNS, you add the A record. You add the A record that you'll get from Shopify. So if you come back here under Shopify, remember where I clicked on to get to this page. Okay, once you click on that, make sure you get the correct IP address, which is this. You add the A record of that using the @ on Cloudflare, and then you also add the CNAME record using that and that, as we did here. Okay, so you can see this is what we did here, and make sure you uncheck the proxy. I think apparently for Shopify they cannot proxy that, so you just need to uncheck those to add them Remember that. And that's pretty much it. So in future, maybe if you do buy like mail hosting from somewhere else and you want to connect it, all you have to do is come here under Cloudflare, click on add record. And what you're going to do is you're going to come here, and the records that you're given, you'll add them. Normally for email records, you'll probably be MX records. The MX records that you're given, just come in here and add them, the mail server and all, click save, and that's it. So that's pretty much it. And in this video, you've learned how you can use Cloudflare and Shopify to set up your domain on your Shopify store. So that's it for this video. If you do have any questions about this, feel free to let me know. If it's still not showing up for you, you saw that for me to actually get it to show up correctly for me, it was I had to use the Opera browser, which comes with a VPN. So just try a different location, because the internet propagation takes different times. Okay, it takes a while for it to propagate in different locations. So for me, I saw that in Europe, the Cloudflare servers automatically works much faster there. That's something I found. The ones for Europe, and then you can also see if you're in Asia, just try Asia. Maybe your location will be IP address will have propagated by then. Propagation is basically just updating the servers, the databases on the internet. Okay, so that's what propagation is. That's why you're usually told that it takes a while for this to happen. Okay, so once you add them correctly, don't worry about it. Just give it some time, and it will propagate. As long as you do everything as I've shown you, it's going to work correctly. So once you've set up everything correctly, just come in here and click on verify again, and let's see if the verification is going to be successful. Now it's still saying that the verification cannot happen, but that's probably because it needs to propagate, and that's just what I told you. In this case, what I can do, I can just click there, add domain. So you can see here that we have set up the domain, and it's still not propagated. So just give it time, okay? So let's go back to domains, give it time to propagate. As soon as it tells you that it is connected, you can come in here and you can manage the domain however you want to. Okay, if you want to remove the domain, you can also remove the domain right there, and you can also change the primary domain. So as soon as your domain is active, just come in here and change the primary domain and click there to save. Okay, so make sure you do this once your domain has been connected and it is shown as connected. Just verify it. Come in here and make it there. Come here and change it to the primary domain. You probably want to use the one without the www. So alright, that's pretty much it for this video again, and I hope that it will help you connect your Shopify with your third-party domain.